Hi and welcome. This is Megan of Megan's Creations. I had a request a few weeks ago for showing how to extract a photo and then have it kind of popping out of the photo. So I hope this is kind of what they were wanting, and this is by no means the only way to do extractions, but it's the way that I prefer. And just thought I'd walk you through it. You can see that I already have my layout up of what I'm going for. I still have the rest of the photo behind my extraction, and then my extraction is coming out on top of the frame and has a drop shadow of its own. So I'm going to walk you through how I did that and see if you enjoy that and use that in your own layouts. So the first thing I would do is duplicate your photo. I have my photo here twice, one time and twice. And that's just in case you do something, you go so many steps and you can't really control Z back to it. So just keep a spare. But I'm just going to start on this one, and I grab the select tool, quick selection tool. That's what I use. I know there's other tools, and I've played around with them before, and they just seem to have the same effect. So you want to make sure that you have the little plus sign of the quick select selected, and then you just click it and start dragging it over the areas that you want to include in your selection. And it's by no means perfect, and things like that will happen. I didn't want that part grabbed. And you could also zoom in and get this edge a little finer, to make sure you get all the little hairs and all the areas that are around about it. And if you need to take away a selection, you go to the subtract selection button and start clicking on the areas you didn't want to have in the selection. And like I said, just take as much time as you want on it. You zoom in and do it exactly as you want to, and go back and forth with the plus and minus, getting just the areas that you want. Okay, so this looks pretty good to me, at least for the purpose of our demonstration here. And so what I like to do, instead of cutting it, I know we made a duplicate just in case, but I also like to just copy it. I'm just doing Control C and then Control V. And also when I do a copy paste like that, it usually puts it right back on top of itself where it was, where if you cut it, it sometimes will shift it. So this one landed pretty much on top where I wanted it to, and so you can go ahead and add that drop shadow. And then I added this frame, and so I'm gonna move the full photo back behind the frame. And now I'm going to go back to my selection and trim it. I want it to look like it's really coming out of the frame. So I'm going to crop it to where my photo, my selection is right at the edge where the frame is, and just trimming it here along these edges. And I'm just using the angle selection button this time, and then cutting away the pieces. And then I go to my photo behind the frame. I don't really want this popping out. I mean, maybe you wanted it, but I am going ahead and cutting it, getting rid of it. And also with the selection, if you have a smoothing action tool, I would use that, just because the way we selected it sometimes can make rough edges, so just run a smoothing action over what you selected. And so there's my layout of my wedding, for my wedding day, with some of the photo extracted out and on top. I hope that you found this tutorial helpful and that you want to play around with this method. If you have any questions, you can post them here on my Facebook page, and I'd be glad to answer them. And please enjoy Something Borrowed, Something Blue, my new release today, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.